Today we're visiting with Pam and John Hermon. They're longtime members of Hope United Methodist Church. They're going to tell us about their memories and some of the people that they remember from the history of that church. So tell me how you first heard about this church.
That was pretty straightforward. I was transferred here. Well, we lived in Houston with our 3 children, and I was transferred here in January 1st, 1980. And the family joined me over the Easter break. But I was, we knew the area that we wanted to live in, and we had found a house, which was a bit of a challenge at that time because there were lots of people coming into to Denver. And I was staying in an apartment until the family arrived, and I did some research and found Hope Methodist Church. And we've been in Houston for 13 years, and we had, we're charter members of 2 Methodist churches in Houston, and we had been very involved, especially, well, in both of them actually, getting them started and doing everything, mowing the yard to being on the building committee. So when we arrived, when I visited the church, I don't know who it was, but somebody came up to me and said, "You look like you are a lost soul who's been transferred to Denver." And I said, "You're absolutely correct." Yeah. And she says, "Well, you found a home here." So we thought that we had been so involved, we thought we would just take a little break. But we did. We were visiting. We were captured by Victor Schultz, and no way Victor was going to let us have any kind of a break.
He and his wife were so good, and he'd go visit everyone, as I'm sure everyone's told you.
Yeah.
And if you didn't join a week or 2 after he visited, he would be back on your doorstep. So you joined.
About the 3rd time, I said, Victor, we really kind of wanted to just spend a little time and get unpacked. And he says, the first thing you should unpack is your church. And so that was it. And
they really were very nice. They even babysat for us a couple of times when we both went out of town. So
we didn't have any parent, neither side of the family were here, so they became our surrogate grandparents, I guess, and they were very gracious about that. So
Well, you had been Methodist in Houston. Did you grow up in the Methodist church?
no,
I did.
She did.
In
Pam
Kansas
did.
City.
I grew up in the Congregational Church in the suburb of Kansas City. But there weren't any Congregational churches in Houston, and we were very close to a brand new Methodist church. As a matter of fact, the first one we met in there was kind of a sanctuary at the
Sanctuary Chapel.
Chapel, yeah, in the local cemetery, and that's where we met.
Oh, really?
And then we got a temporary building.
Then we got
Big on
temporary buildings,
buildings,
and we got to put the temporary buildings together and do all the.
And both areas grew so fast. They have
Yeah.
huge churches now.
I bet.
Yeah.
Though especially one of them. I mean, it is, we didn't know we had that. I guess they kept buying more property that was still there. And so the
Yeah.
last time we went, we went, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And I started that little children's choir with 6 people. But yeah, back then you really did the welcome thing almost every week. You knew it by heart, just like the affirmation of faith. You welcomed the new members.
I was on the new member committee, I guess, and at that time, you just went out and you visited them, and you didn't need to call. We had the name on the list, and you went out and you knocked on the door and were greeted, and it was a lot different, and people were coming so fast that you could just barely go out and say hello to each family.
Well, anyway, they would
It's a victim of demographics. All churches are.
Yeah.
And things change.
But the church here was very young. Everybody was young. I can't remember anyone being older. I thought Carol Bruton was a little bit older, and she was in charge of all the Sunday school, of course not paid.
Right.
And she probably was about 5 years older, not much.
Well, the records show that you joined in July of 1980.
That's
And
right.
at that time, they had just moved into
They had.
what we call the Fellowship Hall
They
now.
had,
Yeah.
And that was the only building there.
yes, that was it.
And you mentioned Victor Schultz and his wife Ruth.
Ruth, I can remember.
Yeah,
And he was the associate pastor of
Right.
the visiting.
right.
And he
Visitation.
did.
He was very
was a
good at it.
go-getter.
He was very
Yes.
good.
Yes. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Al Brown was the senior pastor.
He was.
Do you remember him?
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely,
absolutely.
Al
Yeah.
was,
And he had, that was martini thing at the.
there was,
At the Ichabod's.
yeah, Ichabod's, and they had an Ogden Nash night.
Yeah, that was the,
And you dressed up like Ogden Nash, and they, read a lot of his poetry, and Al was very good at that, and he was always
he was in,
pleased to see people from Oklahoma in the audience. He would ask if there were any people from Oklahoma, and there were,
Yes.
but and he was a good person at that time. He was a great person. And,
we had lots of people, just like at the Cottonwood School, we had a huge neighborhood group, for which they tried to do a few years ago again, but it's more spread out now.
yeah, we
But there
would.
were so many of us, and we had great parties and get-togethers and got to know the neighbors, and it was very social then.
Yeah.
But I think it's because everyone was,
And the majority of the people were transfers, or not very few natives on our block. I think there was one native Coloradan.
A lot of us came from other places and
Yes.
moved to
Yeah,
Denver.
oh, absolutely.
so
Which
everyone
made
was
it-
sort of
which made it
willing to
easier.
make
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, it was great, it really was.
Well, I got started too, the youngest, they put in the Mother's Day out, it was Mother's Day out then. And then I was in charge of it for 2 years after, they decided Cindy McCready was there, but someone should be in charge that belonged to the church, and she didn't. And so I did it for a couple of years, and then Barb Herbal Hendricks took over, and then Carol Davenport. So Cindy still did all the money part, and I was the face.
I didn't know that, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
you ran for
okay.
2
Then
years.
I got, so I could teach here, so I substituted there, so. Let's see, I started the little children's choir, but I don't remember what year that was. Mary Wood started the next level up. There was another lady, Nancy Davidson, I think was her name, was going to, and then she got her husband or she got transferred. And so Mary Wood said she can do that one, and I said I'd do the little one, and I don't remember who played the piano for me. I think Janet Stotts played some for one of us, but
Who were they, the Sunshine Singers, or the?
well, that was what we called them, I think, in Houston. I don't
In
remember what we
Houston,
called them here.
yeah.
They might have been the Sunshine, I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. Somebody made them little white tops, and still don't remember who that was, but with red scarves so that they could look like a little choir. Anyway, that was fun. We had a big evangelism group then, Ann Fort and her husband Jim. So I remember being on that committee.
Yeah.
And there were people, very busy.
Yep.
I do remember that one year that Jay, our son, was in kindergarten, and for some reason there was a huge kindergarten amount of kids. And Carol Bruton wanted, there were just those 4 rooms downstairs, but they used to divide them up into.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I hadn't done something yet. That was one of the first big things. I said, okay, I'll take the kindergarten class. There were 19, no, just boys.
Boys, stay with us,
19
3 or 4-year-old boys?
5
Yeah.
and 6-year-old boys,
Yeah.
and 3 girls. I still remember Valerie Most was one of the 3 girls, and the girls never said a word. They sat over here. And the 19 boys, most of whom I knew and were very
Yeah.
good kids.
Yeah.
One was a real,
There were some that were,
He
what was your
wasn't-
term you coined, under construction?
he wasn't there for Sunday school. He was there to play. He would get things right. So there was another mom, Sally Pitt, who they later moved to Grand Junction. And she said, Pam, I think with those 19 boys, I better help you. I said, oh, okay. God sent her to me because I could have never done it. One of them, something they don't do now, he was usually in the hall about halfway through because he never would calm down and stuff. But I knew him well too. So anyway.
Excuse me, but is he a teacher in the church school district now?
He turned out okay.
He turned out okay. And a wrestling coach, I think.
It was boys like the Bledsoe, it was Greg Bledsoe, Ben Witt, I mean, there were still a lot of names that stayed with it. It was a big class when they had, when they're 13. Confirmation, yes, it was a big class even then. But I still remember all those little boys sitting on the table. Oh, and boy, that was when you had them the whole time. They didn't come to church first.
That's right.
And so if church went 5 or 10 minutes over, you were really looking at your watch and thinking, please let it be over up there.
You should have turned them loose.
Oh, I think so.
I only did that one year. So,
But it did, they stayed together, you know, if they, almost all of them were clots and, you know, all of these, still a lot of them still very good friends. And I think that was a very important part of their development, I think.
Yes.
It really was.
Well, tell me what you remember about worshiping in the fellowship hall before the rest of the church was built.
I remember having my little choir in the Christmas pageant. We had a pageant, little animals. It got crowded.
Folding chairs? Yeah, I think that's what I remember.
There weren't any
Then
pews.
somebody finally built a little, kind of or maybe that was in the Schultz Fellowship Hall. I don't know. But,
It was.
well, that's where it was, right, you're right, yeah. So that there was, you know, some elevation of it. But what I do remember is in the new sanctuary, we were I remember selling, you know, the bonds, you know, for the new expansion and all that. And they still ran a little short, and so they didn't put the carpet in underneath there. And they needed volunteers to help come up and line and secure the chairs, or the pews when they set them in. You know, the contractor probably lost money on supervising all the. But I don't remember that much about I do remember the kitchen.
That little long kitchen. Oh, but Carol Herbert and
Nina Ferrari, probably.
Mangelson, the guy that lived in Sundance. He died a few years ago. His wife was, they loved that kitchen. They were so proud of it. And they filled it up. 4 of them would fill it up.
Yes.
It was great. It had a dishwasher and a little handout thing. It's so much different than the kitchen today. I do remember one service, and I do know why it's stuck in my mind. It was Mother's Day, and there was a minister assistant named Lois Sugar.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And Al let her preach, I guess because it was Mother's Day, and it was packed, and it was hot.
Yeah.
You know, it was May, but it was hot. And there were a lot of visitors. And she went on and on and on and on. I bet it was at least an hour and a half. And I was looking at a couple of the visitors I know, and I know that the next week they were at the new Presbyterian church down there, because some of them joined that one. I know. She was a nice lady, but she wanted to get her money's worth that day. So.
Well, the church continued to grow quite a bit in the early
yeah.
80s and moved into the new
Yeah.
sanctuary, and we raised the money. You mentioned about raising the bonds and to help pay for all that.
Someplace there's a silver shovel by our committee on it, our 4 guys that, and it was Abear, but he pronounced it Herbert.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Until his mother came up from Louisiana, and I said, it's really Abear. And he said, yes. But he gave up on trying to, I think, you know, he just said,
That's right.
we're going to localize it. But yes, yeah, those are good things.
We loved Sam Day. He was,
Yes, tell us what you remember about Sam Day.
Oh, he had his sermons had 3 parts,
Yep.
and he put all 3 parts on. So when he got to the 3rd part, you know, it was closing down. He I just think he was a great guy for the church. He was so,
Very personable.
yes,
Yeah, very
and a
personable.
nice wife, and
Yeah.
he even came and he married our oldest daughter over.
That's right, I'd
And she-
forgotten that.
I'd like to tell him some, if he
Yeah.
still, that she did turn out all right. 'Cause, I mean, she
It
was,
was
they
touch-
were long hair and
it was
had a
touch and
baby
go.
already and
Yeah.
decided they'd get married, but now it's almost 30 years later and
30
it's
years
all,
later.
they're actually, it's okay.
Well, Sam had a very personal little touch, I thought, that really reached people besides being a good preacher.
He was
Oh, yeah,
very good.
yeah, he was had a gift, a God-given gift, I think, that, you know, some people have. And
Yes.
It's a blessing.
Yeah. Well, after Sam Day, Margaret Hankins and John Lee had a co-pastorship.
Right.
Remember that?
So, yeah, and I was very concerned about Margaret. I wasn't sure how comfortable, because I'd never had a.
That's right.
Wasn't Vickers right after Sam Day?
Yeah, Richard Vickery
Vickery.
was there before Sam Day.
Oh,
Oh, was he?
before.
Yeah.
Oh, so
He
he
followed
was
Al
after
Brown.
Al Brown,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
John didn't enjoy him as much, and he
Yeah.
started his own business that year, and so he often went on Sunday into the office to vacuum it and do all the things that he couldn't do, that he did himself, and I went with the kids.
from 86 on, I kind of went down, or as Pam would say on Sunday morning, I'd be head of the office and I see you're going to your house of worship. Which didn't make me feel particularly good, you know what I mean?
He showed up when he needed, at the right times, and never came back.
Yeah.
So, yes, that was Margaret and John Lee.
Well, Margaret was one of the first female pastors,
Yeah.
not just in this church, but in the conference.
And
Yes.
she obviously was just wonderful. And my number 2 daughter still speaks highly of her as you can call her a professional woman, or was a professional
Yes.
woman, and she did she did a lot. And John Lee I enjoyed also. He had he was from some little bitty towns in South Texas, south of Hondo, Divine or someplace, and he really had a really interesting career, and how he managed to progress. But
And then Margaret was with Steve.
Steve Miller
Steve
came.
Miller.
and,
Our son called that the tag team.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the tag team after he went away to college. The tag team is still there, yes.
Yeah. There were a lot of good times. There really were. And we even went down to see Steve when he was preaching at his church in Westcliff.
Westcliff,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they had no youth program. They were all.
Everybody was old.
I went and felt very much at home. But so I got involved in the theater down there, and we went down to see a production of.
Well, Steve Warren came after Margaret and Steve Miller
Yeah,
had been
right.
co-pastors.
Right.
He was
It
the senior pastor for a
Steve
while.
after
Yeah.
Steve, yes.
Yeah,
It was-
Steve Warren, Steve too, yeah.
And then Don Bird and now
Yeah,
Claire McNulty.
It's been,
it's been, gosh, has it been that many?
it has. I think we've enjoyed almost all of them.
Oh, yeah, they all
What
have
else?
the same message, but the different ways of presenting it. And I don't do real well with the very intellectual, very deep philosophical type
Yes.
of presentations.
But we've always enjoyed the choirs. I can't
Yeah,
believe that
yeah.
the choirs at that church have so much talent.
Great.
Yeah.
Adult talent, I mean,
Yeah.
and some of the teenagers that have come up, but Emily Morton, the flute and all,
Yeah.
some of them are just
Your granddaughter.
so sharing of their
Yeah.
talents.
We've been blessed with some wonderful music at that
Yes.
church.
Yeah, and organists too.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
especially
Cheryl
now.
was just something
World
else.
class.
It's
Yeah.
terrific.
And I think, we did a lot of, I now, since I've retired, to be honest with you, I'm enjoying a lot of the programs. you know, in school, and I never had any electives in college, to be honest with you. And so now I'm enjoying the, you know, the Thursday morning Bible studies,
Yes.
the Monday with Stan, and
We
trying to
started
get
that with
involved.
Roger Dow. We
Yeah,
started
started
that.
getting involved with the Sunday school. Jim Hankins. I didn't just begin to look at that, but that's been a whole new opportunity for me that I kind of that I am able to take advantage of, and it's there.
Yes.
It's really, we're very lucky that we've had, you know, folks step up and take on
I agree.
these responsibilities.
Well, you both have been very active in the committees and the social groups at the church. Tell us some of the things you've done. You mentioned the music for the children, and John, you mentioned the building committee.
I really didn't do, from '86 on, I didn't do that much. I did the scouts.
But not at church.
But it was a school sponsored. But then
But it's the
I
same
tried
little
to
boys
make-
that went to our church.
tried, yeah,
Except
there
for
was
two.
mostly boys, and I took them as the Tiger Cubs, and I took them as Weebles for 2 years. And I tried to get them, you know, transitioned into the church, the troop. And it didn't do real well, you know.
They kind of lost interest.
Yeah, you know, the big thing for Boy Scouts for years was go camping with their friends. Well, all these kids already had, you know, been camping and done, you know,
Yes.
done a lot of the outdoor things that the Scouts. I had one kid that did get one boy that did get to go on, and he became an Eagle. But he switched over to the Mormon troop.
Oh,
I
did he?
didn't even know there was a Mormon
Yeah.
troop. But I did that, and
We certainly.
but I really didn't the last few years. I did a few things, and
He was very busy having his own business,
Sure.
keeping that together.
anxious.
And Pam, what other things were you involved with?
I don't know, I was on the PDO, they had a PDO committee then that met between the church liaison and that and evangelism. I wasn't on that many, I just did these little things like I kind of do now.
Wow.
I did take the greeters for a long time because we didn't have any greeters there for a while. And I said, oh, I'll just do it. So I think I did it for 10 years. I got the greeters, but I thought it was awful that we didn't have anyone greeting at the door. So kind of had fallen in. But we've certainly done the social things and we've enjoyed them very much. And those are probably, now that we've gotten older, they're probably still our best friends.
Yes.
We've lost a lot of them, but we did the congenial couples and the potlucks every month.
Yep.
And we used to have couples bridge at night. And once we had, the most we'd ever had, we had 10 tables of bridge.
10 tables of
Here.
bridge at this house.
Really?
That's 40 people, and that's also 10 card tables.
Yeah.
There was lots of moving of tables and chairs and taking in and out of cars then.
No kidding.
And that was what, we were all young then. We didn't mind it, there was no way we would do that now. So, and of course now, a lot of them.
At that time, everybody could go up and down the stairs.
Yeah, now they can't
Yes.
even do that.
Yeah.
So we've done that, and I've done Ladies Bridge for, well, after I retired, I really didn't do it before, except in the summer, so. That's 20 years, so.
And there were just a lot of, with your church camping
Yeah.
trips, and men's retreats to
Yeah, we did.
various
I went to ladies'
places. And,
retreat. Enjoyed Larry Ralston's bus tours around
Oh,
the
yeah,
city
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that
yeah.
it's been fun to do. And now, this last year, we did the Why Not, some of their things too.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah, what was it, congenial couples?
Yeah.
Frankly, I just, every program runs its life, and this one did too.
did this last year, but
And that was more home-based, and the Why Nots are doing, more on the road, go out and do different activities, so.
Yeah.
And, would love to find some way to revitalize, and pick up on some of these Christian activities, you know.
Because we're just so stuck in the age group that we're in, and we don't know and do enough with, I don't even know if the younger, they're also busy now with their kids and so many things. I don't
Yes.
know if they do very, I don't know what they do, so.
It's a different time, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, well, we didn't, good grief, we didn't have cell phones or anything else to, if you wanted to use the, you know,
Yeah.
phone. And so, I mean, it's completely different than what it was in that way.
Tell me some of your favorite memories of the church. We talked about some people and activities. Do you have a special memory of the church?
Well, I don't know some of those fun ones. Gosh, we used to have continuals. We'd have Mardi Gras party and, oh my goodness, we had all kinds of parties and potlucks and speakers. I remember my dishwasher overflowing when I had the Mardi Gras party here, and I put 5 pounds of shrimp shells down, and of course, that day, instead of, and so then of course, when I was running it, there's water all over the floor and all these people, and oh gosh, going down in the basement.
You know, it gets worse. I called Roto-Rooter and they said, yes, we have 24-hour service, and he showed up, you know, a nice young man, and he's down there, you know, doing it. And the power went out, remember?
Oh, no.
Oh, that wasn't, people were here. No, that was the next day.
He had to leave the machine and with the Roto-Rooter thing stuck in it, you know, down the.
Well, it was in February, it was cold, it was very cold, and the power went out.
Yeah, and anyway, it was there the next morning, I know that. And the power came back on, the game and finished it, but that's what it was. It was a shrimp for the Mardi Gras party. And,
That's what you get for
It was
inviting
my
all
own,
your church
well, it
friends.
was my own fault. I didn't put the shells down the disposal.
I would not do that
And
today.
No, I would not. I've
Would not
learned
do
my
that
lesson.
today, yeah.
So, I don't know, we've done so
Oh,
many
yeah, that
things
was
with
probably
that.
one of the things.
You know, we used to go to the baseball games together.
Mhm.
I remember that, several years.
There was a lot of Christian fellowship.
Yeah.
It really was, and which is still, it's still available and still an option. I think, you know, but it's a little harder to get started and inspired, I think, at this time. So,
We talked to several things that you enjoyed about the church. Is there one particular thing you like best about your experience at Hope?
I'd say that just the Christian fellowship, really. We made some very good friends, and they're still good friends.
Oh.
And we're thankful for that. And I think our, you know, with 3 children, and the oldest one, the one we referenced earlier, that was a kind of our miracle, you know, they are now heavily involved in the
Good.
church in Colorado Springs.
Good.
And so are their 3 kids. I mean, they're.
Well, one's gone from the
Yeah.
house, so he's not so much,
That's-
but he was,
all very
singing in the choirs and everything.
Yeah.
And the other 2 got a good Christian education, but they're not very, they don't go to church.
You're not, you know, they're not seeing the family involvement that we would like to see, you know, but it is what it is.
But they always go when they come back and visit, so, but they don't live here, so, you know, it's not.
Right. We talked a lot about things that you've experienced over the last 39 years. What would you like to see from Hope Church in the next 39 years?
Oh, boy, that is a very good question. And
I hope it
that's
could
one
be,
reason I kind of got back involved in the evangelism committee for a while. Is, but the way you approach it now is just you know, so completely different. And how you do the outreach, and I just don't know.
I'd like to see it involve more, you know, to get more people from the community, but I love the days when someone joined every week, but I'm sorry to say too many times now it's a service for someone every few weeks, so.
I think Claire's, her sermons are just.
I like her too.
Wonderful.
You're very good.
I would like to see her get some more help, though. She was supposed to have an assistant, and that's, well, Paul's sort of an assistant, but I mean, he's not really.
Yes.
Well,
So-
he was an assistant too, but.
But yeah, an assistant, but he's not an associate, I guess is the
Right.
word I meant.
Right.
I think if she had more help, then you could do more visiting or at least calling and keeping up with when people come
Yeah.
to visit church. I don't know how that works, but
But we had a wonderful church member, I'll think her name here in a minute. She passed away within the last couple of years. Come to me, but her husband had been an active minister in a very large Methodist church, and then became a chaplain. But she would take
Dorothy Combs.
Yeah, Dorothy Combs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And if people hadn't attended, she would call and try, see if they were okay, if they had concerns, or that kind of that outreach was just invaluable. The problem is now that if I get a telephone call and I don't recognize it, I don't answer it.
I'm the same way.
And then I go back and or I'll stand there, at the phone, if somebody starts talking and I pick up the phone. I say, yes, I'm sorry, I am screening the calls, but
Well,
good to hear from you.
And people like Frank Sargent that always went to visit everyone in the hospital, but he was a
Yeah.
doctor, he could,
Yeah.
he
did, yeah.
what's the card man? They've been married 50-some years. 'Cause each year he'd stand up and say,
Yeah, Bob Grafton.
Bob Grafton.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing a
We used
blank.
to-
See,
we used
that's
to
what
buy
happens
Christmas
when you're
cards
this.
from him.
Yes, yes,
But
that's
he
right.
was,
But
he
he
was very
was
active in
always
that men's
calling and
Thursday,
visiting with people.
Men's Thursday group too, yeah.
And I don't think, there's people that do that, and not us, so, like they maybe used to.
Yeah.
Well, now that, like you say, they'd use a cell phone and call them or something, but
Yeah.
back then you went and visited.
And, the logistics anymore, just getting around town, are just bizarre.
Well, and kids have activities on Sunday morning,
Oh, yes.
and that
And,
was never the case
no,
before.
never. You never had anything on Sunday,
There's so much competition
Yeah.
for your time and entertainment.
Yeah.
so.
That's true.
But there has to be and I think you have a lot more, firsthand experience on how to reach these younger, not only the kids, but the younger adults. To me, the people I see that are coming to the church, probably the same reason we got involved in. When we first had our children, we wanted them to have the same experience that we had. And so that's how we got involved. And I think I see, and goodness, Kate Stapleton's a saint, I just, she's just wonderful, what I mean? And both of our grandkids have been in a vacation Bible school.
Yeah.
And we walked in with my daughter in Seattle and Marco, and she remembered Marco's name. Now, I'm not sure that's good.
But I mean, a year later,
because
she
she came home
remembers
with
them.
She's very good
She
that
is
way.
good.
I agree.
Gosh, that I did do. The first year when we were going to have an 8:30 and an 11 or whatever, I think that was when Frank Garrett Jerry was in charge. And he said, well, we're just not going to have Sunday school at 8:30. And I thought, well, then nobody, So I did start the Hope Grannies of Hope.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, enough of us are grandmothers if we each just went down there and took them all for one time. And usually there were like 2 kids,
Right.
but at least their parents knew that they could come.
Yeah.
And and Jake is still there and they still go there, and he's graduating from Cherry Creek now. So, but he was sometimes the only one. We do our little lesson, but Kate was just starting as a volunteer. She just come and she said, Kathy Smith was there, but then she left and Kate took over. Kate said, I couldn't have done it if I'd had to do both of them. And it was fun, but I had people like Ruth Hill and Shirley Hall and Linda Bledsoe. We were all grandmothers. We could go read the little book. And then I think Jake and we'd end up playing Hangman back at the very end, but it was okay.
But there again, it's a changing
Now there's
political
lots of
scene. You have to have 2 people in every class.
Yeah.
And it's difficult enough finding, I think, one teacher, much less two. So that's part of society's changing. The same things happen in everything. You know, the Boy Scouts and any group activity where you have youth. I think you pretty much have to have two people there all the time. It's sad.
It is sad, and the safety requirements about shutting all the doors
Oh, I
with
know.
one push of a button
Yes,
to
yeah.
protect the kids that are in the church.
Right.
We never used to have those issues.
It never would have even occurred to anybody to lock a
And
door.
It bothers
I
me,
know.
it bothers me a lot to not have a church open.
Me too.
You could go in to.
To welcome people.
Open doors, open doors, open hearts, open, so that kind of fell by the wayside. Open if you got the security code, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we talked about a lot of people and activities and things in your experience at Hope Church. Did we leave anything out or other memories that we didn't talk
I
about?
don't, there's lots of memories, but I think,
The fire extinguisher, fire alarm, that's always good for a laugh, you know. But, no, I think we've been blessed with some very competent pastors and some really wonderful people. And especially you and what you've done and your, ministry to the youth, that has just got to be above and beyond.
Well, thank you.
It's just something else. But now I'm kind of getting to the point where I kind of enjoy, different things than I would 20 years ago, that's for
Right.
sure. And it's still, I mean, I think what we're doing now is great. We just need to find some way to recreate, remanufacture ourselves and find some way, along with all the other churches, and find a way to get to people without having another World Trade Center
Yes.
event to increase the
Yeah.
church attendance.
okay.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Thank
your
you.
service, your
Thank you.
faithfulness. We appreciate you sitting for this interview.
Thank you.